Okay, so let's take a quick moment or two to determine whether or not the following graphs have symmetry to the origin. Remember the test? Right, in this case, what we're going to do if we want to test symmetry to the origin, that means we replace both x with negative x and y with negative y, and find out what happens when we simplify the equation. So let's take our left one here. We take negative y in place of y. We take negative of x in place of x. So we're going to take the negative of x cubed plus 3 times negative x. And now we're going to simplify and see if we can't rewrite this equation so that it ends up looking like the original. Well, the negative of y in this case would be equal to negative x cubed is the same thing as the negative of x cubed. Negative x times negative x times negative x is a negative. Plus 3 times negative x is the same thing as minus 3 times x. Well, now we've got all these negatives sitting around. What could we do? Well, we can divide each term by negative 1. So if we divide both sides of the equation by negative 1, we get rid of the negative on the left, and on the right, the negative x cubed over negative 1 becomes positive x cubed. Negative 3x divided by negative 1 becomes plus 3x. And so this is the same as what we started with. Therefore, we come to the conclusion that this is symmetric to the origin. All right, how about our next one? Let's try it out. In this case, we're going to use x equals the absolute value of y. We replace x with negative x, and we replace y with negative y. And then we try to rewrite our expression. Well, we want to try and get rid of the negatives if we can. We know that the negative of x in this case would equal the same thing as the positive of the absolute value of y. Remember that whenever you have an absolute value of a negative, it's the same as the absolute value of the positive. The absolute value of negative y equals the absolute value of y for every value of y that there is. Now, if we try to get rid of the negative on the left, we only end up moving that negative over to the other side, and we can't seem to get rid of it right here. Since this cannot be rewritten in the same form as the original, we would come to the conclusion that this is not symmetric to the origin. And so we're done with this particular test.